P.O.C. each and every morning, man. We go live at 7 a.m. and we want y'all to join in on the conversation. 215-853-6803. Once again, that number is 215-853-6803. Give us a call, man. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your opinions and your perspectives. Give us a call.
Yo, it's your boy, comedian Marcus LeVar. You can find me at LeVar Laffs, LeVarLaffs. I'm live with Revive, and you know Revive is always live, man. Loving it, man. Shout outs to these people. I love P.O.C., man. Check it out.
You are listening to Revive Radio. The views and opinions expressed on Revive Radio does not necessarily reflect ownership, management, and advertisers of Revive Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Already know what time it is. ReviveIsAlive.com. Once again, ReviveIsAlive.com. Tune in. Revive is alive. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! It's your girl P.O.C. Hey! Proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Welcome to Revive. Yep. You already know what time it is, man. It's your girl P.O.C., host of Revive Radio. We are live right now on Revive is Alive, Revive is Alive, ReviveIsAlive.com. Shout out to PQRadio1.com. Shout out to 98.5. Shout out to everybody who's supporting Revive Radio, man. Each and every time we go live, make sure you guys spread the word, spread the message. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are live each and every morning. Like I tell you each and every morning, join in on this morning conversation. 215-853-6803. Once again, that number is 215-853-6803. And you already know each and every time we go live, we got a jam-packed show for you guys. And we got a special guest right now. We got our special guest on the line. I'm excited to be speaking with him because he's coming to Philadelphia to put on a show for you. And I'm excited just to see what this show is all about. I hear so much about this artist, and we got him on the line for you guys. We got John Hope. Yo, John Hope, you're live on Revive. How you feeling this morning?
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you. I'm happy to be here, man. Good morning to Philly. What's up?
Man, we excited to have you. You coming to Philly. You about to put a show on for us. How is everything going well, before we even get into it, I'm just excited. Before we even get into it, go ahead and tell the people who you are so they know exactly who they're listening to.
Yeah, for sure. So my name's John Hope. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm also a professor, you know what I'm saying? And, right now I'm currently on tour supporting my album and documentary called Hope All Is Well. And, just a guy who has a lot to say and want to offer, my thoughts to the world through music. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And I truly love your sound. You definitely have a supporter in me. And one reason why I really love your reason why I really love your sound is because you have a message. And I wanted to ask you, what actually got you into music? Where did the music come from? What was your inspiration?
Man, I think it was at the time I had like a colorful background. I was in foster care for a little bit and I was one of those kids where my mother, she worked, so I was always out and about, you know what I'm saying? So I think for me, the music, me looking for an outlet, me looking for a place where I could be valued, you know what I'm saying? I found that through the music. I found that like early on, like, I ain't trying to age myself, but like when I heard like Ghetto Boys, you know what I'm saying? Mom Playing Tricks on Me, songs like that really had like that like hood introspection, you know what I'm saying? I really connected to that, and then I started like mimicking some of my favorite artists, and up until I got my own style, my own voice, and I got the confidence to kind of share my own perspectives. But it was really about the connection to those stories that were just like mine from other artists.
No doubt, and I definitely feel that, and I see that in your music as well. And if you don't mind, I want to ask you a little bit about your childhood, because you mentioned, I appreciate you
Yeah,
even being transparent. You mentioned that you were a foster child, and a lot of
yeah,
people who come up out of that situation are dealing with a lot of mental health. And as we know, mental health
yeah.
is a huge topic right now, because a lot of people are talking about it, which is needed. Especially in our communities, it's needed. So if you could just shed light on just that, that system that many people are a part of but don't really want to talk about.
Yeah, I think what tends to happen is there's a lot of themes that go on in the hood, in the communities that we come from, where we normalize trauma because of lack of access and information. There really isn't a frame of reference, and so we just normalize, like, you know, free this one, you know what I'm saying, or rest in peace this one, you know
Yes,
what I'm
yes, on a
saying, and
t-shirt,
it's
right?
like, yo, yeah, like those things. That's not a normal thing. If you look out in other communities or other neighborhoods or whatever, like, the first time they experience death or something of that magnitude is probably not until well into their formative adult years and things of that nature. Generally speaking, with me, first time I saw a dead body was 12 years old. First time I got beat by police was 12 years old. Like, me and my cousins, you know what I'm saying? And
What
I
city are you coming
remember,
from?
I'm from Providence, Rhode
Rhode Island.
Island.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, from Providence, from PVD, and just like anything, anywhere else, you know what I'm saying. There's a community there, you know what I mean, and there's certain things that we all are familiar with, and I just think, like, for me, my assessment is that we need to recognize, um, that what the trauma that we receive is not normal. It's not normal to, you know, someone, for a school shooting to happen, and we just go back to we go back to class and whatnot. Like, we need to have time to process, and that time of processing doesn't necessarily indicate weakness, for a lot of men, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's this whole, like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man up or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, we need to, like, really remove that taboo away from that, you know what I mean? Because when we
Definitely.
just internalize it, it's going to manifest in a way that's going to be, like, real problematic. And so I just think we need to, and I think it's happening, that, like you mentioned, that shift towards awareness is happening. Part of that awareness is understanding, like, this stuff ain't normal, man. It ain't, and it's okay. And we need to process it. We need to carve out space to grieve, to heal, however long it may take. But we need to understand that stuff ain't normal.
Facts. And I want to ask you one more question on this topic, because I definitely want to
Yeah,
get back to the music, because this is what you're here
for
for.
sure.
But when it
For
comes to
sure.
but this is really big, and I'm glad that you even opened up this door, because a lot of people, like I said, especially artists, don't really want to talk about things that a lot of other people are going through that are supporting them. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where
Yeah.
a lot of artists are, where you get this, I would say, like, this sleepy culture music, where they're putting out so much depression in their music, but people are not taking them seriously, if that makes sense. So that's another
Right,
reason
right.
why I want to open up the door. And so when it comes to the foster care system, do you believe that that is a system that is actually made to help people get up and be get on their own 2 feet and be able to take care of themselves after a while? Or do you feel like that's a system right now in our communities that is really pushing not too much of a positive stereotype? It's not really helping us as a generation or as a population.
Yeah, man. I would say it's the latter. I don't really see any support. I mean, yeah, I don't really see support when it comes to the foster system and DCF and DYS and all that. I work directly in uh with that population and those group of kids. I mentor a lot of young men, and what I see a lot of formality. I see a lot of just kind of pushing them through, almost like an assembly line type of thing. There's really no humanizing in that work, and it's just kind of like a run of the mill. And that's a real problem because, these are kids that need, really, aside from the basic support, like they need to be humanized. They need to be seen as, an individual, as a human. And I don't really see that. And really that can be just like, it sounds like some like grandiose type of thing, but it's really just like, saying hi to them, like talking to them and really like just valuing their presence. I think a lot of times, from my experience, when I see these caseworkers, when I see just the whole process, it's very like, it's just dehumanizing. You know what I mean? So I don't really know that it really does any benefit. That's just from my personal opinion, from a personal experience, and from now to seeing how it works and how the way some of these kids are treated. It's kind of gut wrenching, for real, for real.
No doubt, and that's why I asked too, is because like especially for you, you're living your dreams. You giving people hope. Shout out to your last name, right? You giving people hope,
For sure.
and it's like, how do you tell those kids, who are going through that system right now, to go pursue your dreams when you're just like what you just said, like they don't even see themselves as actual humans. So I definitely
Yeah,
wanted to ask you those questions. I appreciate you for being transparent once again. But let's get back into the music. So you just worked on this
yeah.
project. You right now you're on tour for your album. What was the mindset for the album? Where did the album come from?
Well, I mean, much like my previous releases, man, it's really tapping into my personal life, my personal experiences. Last year, I became a father. You know what I'm saying? And
Congratulations.
it. Thank you. And really, that whole process inspired a lot of the music that you're going to hear on Hope All as well. My daughter's name is Hope, and she's executive producing the whole project. You know what
That's
I mean? So
awesome.
she, it's just like, this project is. I had a lot to say. I had a lot to say, and I was very intentional about aligning myself with producers, with creators that really were sensitive to my vision. So it really didn't matter how dope your beats were, how dope you are as a videographer. I really needed you to be sensitive and understand, like, I have a vision that I'm hoping that you can work with me to translate. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a process in terms of aligning myself with people and trusting people with my vision. But so far, the music has been dope. I just released my single. It's called Black Rose. It's on all streaming platforms. It's a hard record. It's dope. And yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I think people are gonna really, really appreciate Hope All as well. So far, the 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 reception to Black Rose is a great indicator that I'm in the right direction.
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you, so I want to back up a little bit before we get to the single. When it came down to the project, I
For
love
sure.
how you said you were intentional, because that means you were actually paying attention with a lot of detail of what was going to happen, with this project. And you said that you made sure that you aligned yourself with, the right producers and different things like that. How did you actually go about that? Do you do your research as an artist of what producers and who do you want to mix and master your last project? How do you go about it? Do you do your research, or do they come to you now?
Yeah, I mean, I do my research. I'm very open. You know what I mean? I feel like you can find those gems and um those opportunities from anywhere. Like, so I really didn't. I'm not on that type of time where I'm checking for how many followers you got or who else is following you or how many views. My thing is, if it's jamming, if the shit is if it's jamming, it's jamming. You know what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, I really didn't care. Like, I just, but I say all that to say, ironically, the album has a very, very cohesive sound because I was able to dial in with one producer. So,
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
really, yeah, I tapped in. Shout out my brother Watts. He's actually also DJing, so he'll be on tour. So you'll be able to see him on Wednesday. But he was extremely helpful in really cultivating a sound and a sort of theme regarding Hopewell as well. And it was dope. And funny enough, man, we're lifelong friends, but we didn't work with each other until this project. Like, this is a guy who's worked with Dipset, who's worked with Lil Wayne, and he's from my city and everything. But we had an affinity for music, but we just never really worked together. You know what I'm saying? Up until now, you know what I mean? And it just goes to show, like, timing is everything.
No
And so
doubt.
he produced the majority of the records on the album. Yeah, you're gonna hear it. He produced Black Rose as well.
That's what's up. So will we get a little piece of, Rhode Island? Will we get a little piece of Providence? Now that we know that it's a collective of, of natives from Rhode Island, will we get a piece of Rhode Island? Will we know a little bit more about, the state?
Yo, I'm telling you right now, I promise you, I love Philly, and so far the energy has been great. Um, but I'm gonna tell you, Providence, Rhode Island is the world's best kept secret. That's on everything I love. That's on everything I love, man.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
trying
But
to
it has
tell
some
you, like,
pride in that. You gotta rep your city, man. You gotta rep where you from.
yeah, yeah, gotta rep. You know what I'm saying? And I lived in Atlanta, I lived in LA, I lived in Brooklyn, but ain't no place like Providence. And I promise you that I'm not the only one. I'm just like the tip of the iceberg. There's other creatives, other artists, other people who are impacting the culture that you wouldn't even know. Oh man, where they from Providence, they from PBD. So I'm just doing my part to kind of just bring that culture. Much like when you think about West Side Gun and Conway and Benny the Butcher, they're
No doubt.
representing Buffalo, you know what I mean? The same way that, Drake came with Toronto and kind of that culture. That's kind of what I'm doing for Providence. And like I said, love Philly, man. I'm excited, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And the best
Matter
part,
of fact, I gotta ask you something, man. I mean, where can I go to get the food, authentic Philly culture, man? I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the cheesesteak and all that, but I'm trying to go to like where it's at. You
oh
know what I'm saying? When I
yeah,
touch
okay,
down.
okay. So then you asking the right person. Okay, so I support black-owned businesses. I
Tap
eat a
me
lot of
in,
food,
tap me
yo.
in.
I eat a lot of food, yo. So I'm gonna say, Pretty Girls Can Cook. This is a black-owned restaurant owned by a black woman. It's amazing.
Yes.
Pretty
Wait,
Girls
wait,
Can
what's the
Cook.
name of it? What's the name of it?
It's called Pretty Girls Can Cook.
Pretty Girls Can Kill. Oh, I'm pulling up. That's
Yeah,
just the title
yeah,
itself.
they good up in there. And if you're looking for a little bit more upscale, where you want to sit down, have something with a little wine, I will go to Booker's. It's called Booker's Restaurant. It's
Okay.
also a black-owned restaurant as well. If you're
Okay.
looking for some jerk food, I would go to Jamaica. What's it called? Jamaican Jerk Hut, and that's down in South Philly. I would recommend that as well. So
Okay.
you got different blends. I would definitely go to Pretty Girls Can Cook, and
Yeah.
and if you're looking for some breakfast, like if you're pulling up off the early morning, you need like a smoothie. You know what I mean? Like you just want to be cleansed. You don't want too much grease. I would go to iMunch. iMunch is a black-owned restaurant as well, and they got
Oh
vegan
man.
products. They got everything you need. So I definitely would recommend that as well.
I must.
iMunch. They're called iMunch. Yep, and they got the
Okay.
smoothies out of this world. I mean, fresh fruit, fresh everything.
Oh, that's the energy I'm on too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
I'm
that's
a I'm
called
a real guy.
iMunch. Yes, yes.
Word.
And I want to get into this the part that you made your daughter the executive producer on the project for real, for real. And shout out to you
Yeah.
for supporting black-owned businesses. I gotta throw that back in there as well. I appreciate you
Yeah,
for
got
supporting that.
to.
Yeah.
Got to. Self love. Self love
Yes,
is the
yeah.
best love. You know
No
what I'm
doubt.
saying?
So, what made you want to go ahead and throw your daughter on there as the executive producer? So that's three Providence. That's three people from the hometown on the project now. So, what made you want to go ahead and do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good question, and that's not to turn the energy of the conversation in a particular direction, but I mean, when you think about, Kobe and yesterday, you know what I'm saying? When you think about, Nipsey, those are the types of events in our community that can really, really invoke a deep reflection and processing about our individual lives, ourselves, and the way that we're
Agreed.
approaching our everyday life, right? And so for me, I remember the first time I heard of an artist doing that was Nas when he on Stillmatic. At the time, he was like, I looked at when you could get the CD and you look at the credits and he had Destiny Jones. And I was like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? And his daughter's grown now, but at the time she was very young.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, that was, to me, that was a legacy play. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I always wanted to do that. And, I got the opportunity, but more so on a larger scale, man, I think it's just about, now in this era of social media, we need to start thinking about, as creators, about what our digital footprint is going to be.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And my daughter, she's about to be 1 on February 7th.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you. I'm a co-parent, right? So I'm not with my daughter's mom, but we have a really beautiful situation. And for me, I want my daughter to get an understanding of what I was trying to convey, the things I was trying to say, not necessarily to her, but just what type of person and human being and the values that I want to instill. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, ever since she's been born, I've been conscious about not necessarily what I'm saying, on some, censorship or whatever, but more or less like just what I want to leave behind. Like, I think when you look at Kobe and Nip, now we're seeing all these clips, this content and these different posts and whatever. And these are all things, conversations that they left behind, for us,
Mm-hmm.
Whether intentional or unintentional, and so for me, I'm being intentional about I'm down to do, I want to put out, I don't want to hoard any music. I don't want to hoard any content. I don't want I'm putting it all out, but also being mindful of my daughter and when it's her time to receive it and to understand it, she can get an understanding of who her father is and was. And it starts with this executive producing title. You know what I mean? I just want her to know that she was part of the process every step since she was born.
No doubt.
So that's kind of what it was.
And no doubt, I definitely agree with you. That was a big business decision. That was a big money move as well. And that's why, I ask, that keeps the residual coming, that makes sure that, you
Exactly.
create that generational wealth as well. So, and that's mostly what we talk about here on Mondays, Money Talk Monday. So that's another reason why I wanted to throw that in there. And as an independent artist as well, and you riding this independent wave, as a business decision, can you talk a little bit about that, staying independent and not signing with, a label or a major record, having a major record deal?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think now the conversation, it's no longer about signing a deal. I think it's about the equity, right? The equity in the business. My company is Zane Butler, and we're a media, events, content company, and this is just one portion of it. The John Hope brand, but for me, it was really important to develop a system, and I'm still working at it, right? It's a system of having a hand in everything from production to consumption. So, I'm really about making sure that there's value in the things that I do, and I determine the value. I think for a long time we were, as artists, because of lack of information and access, we were kind of looking for this external validation, i.e. Def Jam,
Exactly.
Whatever,
Bad
you know what I'm
boys,
saying?
all
Yeah.
that. I feel you.
Bad boy, exactly, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I think now that conversation has shifted. And I think it's important for me and other artists to understand that level of that mind state, it's a spectrum. So the best case scenario is, a Chance the Rapper or a Nipsey Hussle, who were very, vocal, and they were able to take their independency to large levels. But also it can be just, the the independent artist who's not on those platforms, but um is still cultivating revenue streams, and still cultivating income, based upon their on their talent and their art and their gift and whatever the case may be. So, in other words, I'm trying to say that basically, don't think because you're not famous that you're not able to make money. You know what I mean? And so I think that's kind of that's my approach. That's my approach. So, vertical integration from production to consumption, and then understanding that value is not necessarily based on visibility.
Definitely. And as an independent artist, do you focus more on the numbers? I was asking this question towards the end of 2019 when, Spotify puts out these numbers, and some artists, they go back in the closet. They get a little nervous. They get scared. They don't even want to come out no more. And some artists, it boosts their egos. It makes them want to go harder, different things like that. So as an independent artist, do you find yourself paying attention to the numbers, or do you just keep going? Like, if, for example, Black Rose, it didn't go so well, but then you put out the album, and the album, super exceeded your expectations. So what's your thoughts on numbers?
Yeah, I think there's value in numbers, but there's also something called false positives and false negatives. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if the numbers aren't necessarily high, but they're impacting in new markets, as somebody who does my own tour operations, it gives me an indication. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I could tap in when I reroute this tour. I could tap into this new market that's been consuming and that has high engagement of Black Rose. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it's just about how you internalize, you know what I'm saying, and decipher the data that's being received. And then you also have to make like a professional judgment call. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, the numbers might not indicate, but maybe you could increase marketing, dollars and marketing initiatives, and maybe that might be the thing. You know what I'm saying? And
You sound like
so,
you got some
I
mentors
think,
over there right now. Okay.
yo, man, I mean, I'm just tapped in with when I learn. I'm a learner. I'm a lifelong learner, man. I really, it's nothing for me to read a book based on, the music industry. The people I follow is a lot of music industry people. Like, I've really, really learned this because for so long, I was that person trying to get the deal. You know what I'm saying? I went to Columbia Records, Atlantic and things of that nature. I was trying to get that, and for whatever reason, it never really manifested. And now, now that I, take control of my destiny, like, it's imperative. I have to learn the business. I have to learn, what the tactics are and what the metrics are. So, I think for me, it's just about, I have my own set of metrics, but the numbers don't necessarily, it's not the end all be all for me. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes. Yes, yes, and I definitely agree with you. And you're doing well. You're doing you're doing amazing for yourself.
I
I definitely just want to put that out there. You're
appreciate you.
definitely doing it well. And right now, you're about to kick off the Hope All Is Well tour. You know what I mean? Speaking of doing it well, you're about to kick off the Hope All Is Well tour this Wednesday in the city of Philadelphia. What made you want to kick off the tour this Wednesday in the city of Philadelphia? Why was Philly the first choice?
Listen. Again, Philly, is one of my best markets. You know what I'm saying? Philly is one of the cities that show love. Again, I was very strategic, with routing the tour, and I just feel like Philly overall has a long history of spitters, of people that are they're really rooted in the culture. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to come and just rock with y'all, man. And I think it's only right. I think it's only right because it's very much in line. I think I'm very much aligned with the type of artists. Some of my favorite artists are from Philly, and I really think that there's a strong appreciation on both ends. For me towards the city, and the city towards me. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your expectations? Do you have any? Let me just ask you that. Do you have any expectations for this tour?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I was saying, what do you have any expectations for this tour?
Yeah. I mean, one, to complete it, we're this is it's up the East Coast. Again, this was a strategically routed tour. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to complete it, but also, it's an opportunity to, I want to touch, my fans, new fans, build relationships like I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't gonna be the first time we chopping it up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the completion, the goal is to complete it. You know what I'm saying? Is to complete the tour, and then everything else I think will fall in place. Everything else, merge and ticket sales and all that stuff or whatever. But I think it's about completion. Because this is the first my first tour at under my umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Under Zane Butler. And so, I want to be able to, make sure it's successful and do it on a high level.
Mm-hmm. So I want to get into Black Rose as well. This was the single that you dropped off the album to kick off the tour for people to get a little more familiar about what, the album's about to be like. So what made you pick this as a single? Because when it comes down to an album, you want to make sure you pick the best single. So what made you actually pick this one as a single?
Yeah. It's the best representation of who I am at this very moment. Like it's really, it's the hardest record right now. I'm just gonna go out and say it. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. Like it's just if you never heard a John Hope record before, which you should, but if you need a window, an introduction, this would be the best introduction in 2020 about what John Hope is all about, who he is as an artist. It's a great window. And, I don't know about you, but for me, whenever I get that dope introduction, I always go into a rabbit hole. I start going on YouTube. I start doing a deep dive in the artist catalog and seeing what they're about. But it always takes that one record. This is that record.
No doubt. We actually about to play it for the people right now, John. We about to play it. Yo, Philly, turn your radios up. Spread the word. Spread the message. This Wednesday is going down. The Hope All Is Well tour, man. You got John Hope. Black Rose, the debut single. Let's go. Turn your radios up. Stay locked.
Streets won't grow as long as we doubt it. We on go as long as we got it. Oh, streets won't grow as long as we doubt it. We on go as long as we got it. Oh, streets won't grow as long as we doubt it. We on go as long as we got it. Oh, black rose, I'm a black rose in the pavement. Don't water me. Speak truth can be costly. God drive, no car keys. This is no innuendo. Why see the world through tinted windows? I'm never low key, but high key. What I say in vain is ivy. Shut up. Man in the mirror looked me in the eye, said I am enough. Shut up. I don't want your truth, your culture, man. I am enough. Shut up. Red blood, white lies. Oh, my ghetto sings blues. Shut up. One taste of the. Oh man, I'll never think too. On a late night, a dream told me, nigga, run fast, never slowly. When you catch me, just use me. Better level up, don't abuse me. On this loose leaf, I pen that. My melanin, please respect that. Got dark shades for your eyesight, cause this future gon' shine bright. Ay.
If I had $1 for every single time you said you were real. If I had $1 for every single time I would have a $1,000,000. If I had $1 for every single time you said you were real. If I had $1 for every single time I would have $1,000,000.
I would buy me a town, you could keep the chains too. I would buy me a town, you could keep the change too. Say I would buy me a town. You could keep the change too. I would buy me a town. You could keep the change too.
Black Rose, John Hope. Yo, John, tell our people how they can find you, stay locked, and how can they cop these tickets for Wednesday?
Man, listen, man, city of Philadelphia, make sure y'all come out. You can stay connected with me. All socials is John Hope PVD, JONHOPE PVD. Yeah, man, just pull up, Bourbon and Branch. Tickets are $10, you know what I'm saying? And just, pull up, man. It's gonna be a good time. We got the Bull Bay up on there too. We got Eli Capella, we got E Barrios, and might have some special guests, man. But it's gonna be a real dope night of hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely
and hope all is well.
Definitely gonna be a good night. I need you all to be in the building. Spread the word, spread the message. As you can hear, it's gonna be some sounds, some new sounds, some different flavors for your ears in the building. Yo, John, I really truly appreciate you coming through and supporting us here at Revive Radio. Yo, I love that Black Rose. I love how you switched it up. What made you actually put that instrumental in there with the young lady singing about the dollar? What made you want to put that in there? Because that was brilliant.
Man, you know what? I just wanted to do something that kind of didn't sound like anything else, and I wanted to, find that balance of where, it's a bop, but I'm also saying something, and it's a groove, and it's something that's digestible without me trying to compromise my own skill set or as an artist or what have you. So it was just being intentional about the listener. You know what I'm saying? And creating that experience. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And you're definitely going to create experience once again on Wednesday. I appreciate you. We're going to be pushing that for you all week, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for supporting us.
Yo, thank you. Take care.
You already know what time it is, man. Turn your radios up. Spread the word, spread the message, man. It's your girl, P.O.C. Once again, that is Black Rose. Go get your copy right now. He just dropped the album. Go support who supports you. Support local artists. Yo, Philly, he's coming to the city this Wednesday. We about to go to a quick commercial break. Right after this quick commercial break, you already know I got current topics and trending events. I'm going to be going over, man. There's so much that we got to talk about, and I got to definitely talk about the GOAT, man, Kobe, greatest of all time, man. Let's go.
I don't know. Bounce. She can't knock the hustle.
But until the next day, I'm the one who's crazy.
Say what?
'Cause that's the way you're making me feel.
She can't knock the hustle.
I'm just trying to get mine. I don't have the time to knock the hustle for real.
Mitchell never lies past.
Don't know what you got to be. I could turn back your hands to time, make you fall in love, come with me again. I sure would. You give me another chance to love you the right way again.
With it for a minute.
I'm wanting you too much. Don't take advantage of
DJ
my tender
Content.
heart and everything about me. trust. I'm giving you my love, so do take care. Please be gentle with my heart. 'Cause everything I do is about you, baby. Baby, I don't wanna be apart. I've been loving you from the start. Here's my heart, here's my heart. Everything I do is all about you, baby. Whatever you do, whatever you think, I look in your eyes, you don't know how my heart aches. Whatever you say, whatever could mean, you're breaking my heart.
How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a cascade, living in the best lane of the real. How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a cascade, living in the best lane of the real.
I love the way you activate your hips and push it out. Got a brother wanting it so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, I'm the fly about. Catch you at the club, your hips have got me feeling. Body talking quick to me, but I can't comprehend the meaning. Now if you wanna roll with me, then here's your chance to an 80 on the freeway. Catch me if you can, but give me I'm a rider. Still I'm just a simple man. All I want is money plus the fame. I'm a simple man, Mr. International, player with the passport, just like a Latin switch. Get you anything you ask for, either him or me. The champagne, Hennessy, favorite of my homies when we floss on our enemies. Witness as we creep to a low speed. Peep what my foes need. Make some emojis funk you don't need. Approaching women with a passion, but a long day. But I've been driven by attraction in a strong way. Your body is banging, baby. I love the way you're flowing. It's time to give it to Daddy Sugar. Now tell me how you want it.
How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a cascade, living in the best lane of the real. How do you want it? How do you feel? Coming up as a cascade, living in the best lane of the real.
I wanna see y'all who wanna plan with me. Wave your hands across the land and we family. Say hot damn, we want a jamboree. That's what my peeps here. I stand for you 'cause you stand for me. Come on, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, I know I jam. Oh, Bori, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, why don't you jamboree for me? Yes, indeed. The platoon came on in, 8 limbs and Timbs. Broke brims, smoke stems, two dogs with big rims. For the real and the raw, know who duck from the law. I never kill for the thrill, but I cut for the cause. Smoking with a hooter, get better prices from looters. Shake my shell with the shooters, lead a Luger with Duja. Some say modeling and acting, maybe treacherous selling. While I'm yelling, first I'm felling with my the melon. Booyah! Hella heated, too ill for them to beat it. Most cheated, most needed. You best believe it. This ticker tapes jam for me, stand for me. You damn to be without the jamboree. Come on, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, I know I jam. Oh, Bori, I know I jam. Well, oh damn, why don't you jamboree for me? You got to feel the chronicles of a bionicle, lyrically spitting, dismissing. I'm on a mission of just hitting. Now it's written and hitting with mittens. I'm missing, wishing, man, listen. I glisten like sun and water while fishing. What's the moving this word? Serve words with nerve embedded. I said it word, damn you nerd, man, you heard. Coming from the town of Illy and alleys are full of Phillies and rallies. Suckers get silly and Sally. Them founding alleys and rally. Really? So here we go. Now holla if you hear me though. Come and feel me. Flow. Never mixing with tricking brothers, bitching over fixins that ain't fitting to be hitting for nothing. Spitting things is bitten and getting written off. You're like a bad platter, boy, you're pissing me off. Boy, you even started. So what? So long, see you fly.
Announce Provide Radio. Tuning out to Provide Radio.
What's up? Revive is alive.
What up, world? This is Offshore. I am Offshore on Instagram of Adeptify.com. Be sure to go to Adeptify.com and download the free fasting ebook. And right now you are tuned into Revive Radio.
Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. Welcome to Revive. It's about that time. All I need is one mic. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. It's about that time. It's your girl P.O.C. Hey, it's your girl P.O.C. Hey, proof of consciousness. Proof of consciousness. P.O.C. You know what time it is. Open up your ears. You know what time it is. Open up your mind. All I need is it's about that time. Yep, to the yep. You already know what time it is, man. It's me, your girl P.O.C., host of Revive Radio. Shout out to everybody who's out there listening and supporting us here at Revive Radio. Like I tell you, each and every morning, you gotta get up anyway. So why not get up with your girl P.O.C., man? Starting at 7 a.m., getting this good morning mix. Spread the word, spread the message. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. We truly appreciate you guys, man. Each and every Monday, we talk about money because it's Money Talk Mondays here live on Revive. We had a special guest, so we didn't get into it today, but I will be dropping some things in our timeline for you to understand how you too can be, a boss, how you can become a boss, how you can, gain 7 streams of income. That's what we're doing here live on Revive. We're trying to push people into saving and investing. You could definitely join in on the call each and every time we go live as well. That's 215-853-6803. Once again, that number is 215-853-6803. And also, don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel as well as that newsletter so you can stay locked with everything we got going on here, Revive Radio. But I definitely got to get into this tragedy that happened yesterday. It hit everybody extremely hard. It definitely hit me hard. It hit me like I was definitely just confused. I can't even get it out. The feeling that I felt instantly when I got the news about Kobe Bryant. This is something that was not expected. It was something that was just like, what? Are you serious? Like, it was hard to believe. It was hard to, for the whole situation to really just be a true statement. And then to come to find out that his daughter was in that helicopter, crash as well, was definitely just mind blowing. Like, yo, where are we right now? And it made me reevaluate a lot of different things that, I'm going through, I'm dealing with. I'm like, yo, life is just extremely too short. You never know when it's going to happen or how it can happen, honestly, truly, because when you think about it, Kobe in a helicopter, that's something that he did occasionally. That's how he, got to games. That's how he got to practices. That's how he got around, truly. Even Jamil Hill posted a Instagram post about how the only thing that he wanted to do in order to be a part of the Genius Talks with BET is if BET offered to pay for his helicopter. You know what I mean? So it was definitely just ironic that something like this would happen. But I definitely want to tap into it a little bit for those who don't know a lot about the story. The helicopter carrying Kobe Bryant and the 8 other passengers, which is now confusing before I get all the way into it, which is now confusing because when it first came out, it went from 4 to 5 to 6, and now we got 9 passengers total with this helicopter crash. But I understand, but it was just definitely, I feel like before the media goes out and reports these things, I feel like they should say, more updates coming soon, or just give us more information at the time, or they shouldn't report at all until they have the information that we need. But anyway, the helicopter carrying Kobe Bryant and the 8 other passengers that crashed into a hillside in Southern California on Sunday. The chopper went down in Calabasas, about 30 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, after departing from John Wayne Airport in Orange County at 9:06 a.m. The first 911 call reporting the crash was at 9:47 a.m. So audio reviewed by ESPN indicates that a few minutes before the crash, an air traffic controller told the pilot that he was still too low for flight following, meaning that the aircraft was below level at which it could be picked up by the radar due to the areas in the hilly part of California. The audio also came from recordings posted by Live ATC Net, which is a partial audio from the communications between the pilot and the traffic controller. Additional recordings between the pilot and the air traffic controller will be posted on the site, which is once again liveatc.net, and you can find more information about the audio at that website. I would definitely encourage you all to check it out if you're interested in hearing the audio from the actual aircraft. The aircraft was a S-760. It was reports that they had no problems at all with this aircraft as well prior to yesterday's incident. This is just something that, once again, is just a very eye-opening situations to, a lot of Americans, a lot of worldwide, nationally, it's honestly internationally, it's hitting a lot of people hard. My prayers and condolences, and I'm sending my blessings to his family, and his teammates, the NBA. There's so many young players out there who looked up to him. There's so many retired players that looked up to him. There's so many teammates, that truly called upon Kobe every day to really be that motivation, that inspiration. And his life is gone at the age of 41. He didn't even hit 50 yet. It's just mind blowing. And he recently retired. He had so much going for him. The academies that he was opening, the things that he was doing for women's basketball, especially because I'm a hooper myself. So we had the same Achilles injury. So the whole time I'm going through my injury, journey, I'm thinking, Kobe, what would Kobe do? Kobe got up and shot his free throws. I couldn't even walk. So I was always comparing my process to his process, just based off the strength and dedication that he had for the love of the game. So I definitely wanted to just, make sure that I send my blessings on behalf of Revive Radio. We truly appreciate the love and dedication that you have for the game of basketball. All the motivation and inspiration that you put out into this world. You will never, ever, ever be forgotten, man. Once again, the marathon continues. The real, man, the real is gone way too soon for me, man. You already know what time it is. It's your girl, P.O.C. We'll be back tomorrow starting at 7 a.m. It's Tuesday, man. Send your music our way. Quality over quantity. We want to hear from you. Yes, you, man. If you're an artist out there who got some good music, send it our way today. And if you're an artist out there who got some music that you just want the people to hear, yes, man, revive.poc@gmail.com. Once again, that's revive.poc@gmail.com. Turn your radios up. Spread the word, spread the message. Let's go. We'll be right back after this quick commercial. No, actually, it's time to go. Let's go. We out.
Things going on, but deep in my heart, babe, I hope that I'm wrong. Yeah. Somebody sleeping in my bed, my bed, my bed, taking my place. Whoa, I come home early, expecting a warm embrace, but something's wrong, 'cause it's written on your face.
Hey y'all, Lauren Westerman here with Classic Events by Lauren. Check us out on Instagram, Classic Events by Lauren, or our website, www.classiceventsbylauren.com, for all your wedding and event planning needs. Now don't forget, tune in, Revive Radio.
Looking to enhance your brand awareness? Well, guess what? Revive Radio has created a platform for you, yes, you, to spread your brand and your brand's message. Revive Radio offers affordable advertising packages to artists, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. You can find more information about that at reviveisalive.com. And guess what? You can also book POC as your next brand ambassador. Hit us up right now at revive.poc@gmail.com.